Calgary Flames last season, first in the Pacific with a 50-21-11 record, 111 points, third in the West, sixth in the league. Head coach Daryl Sutter.
Farm guy.
Players lost last season. Matthew Tkachuk to the Panthers, Ryan Carpenter to the Rangers, Johnny Gaudreau to the Blue Jackets, Eric Branson jumped in his suitcase going to the Blue Jackets, Cal Yarncroc to the Maple Leafs, and Sean Monahan to the Canadiens. They signed Oliver Shillington, re-signed to 2 years. Andrew Mangiapane, re-signed to 3 years. Trevor Lewis, these are all basically re-signs. I'll tell you when they're not. Trevor Lewis for 1 year, and Nikita Zadorov for 2 years. Kevin Rooney came over from the Rangers for 2 years. Nazem Kadri came from the Avalanche for 7 years. Adam Ruzicka. Thank you. Re-signed 2 years. Looks like he's going to play for, or at least start the season with the Stockton Heat. And you can handle the trades because I love when you do that for me, bud.
Nice, no problem. So the Calgary Flames traded Matthew Tkachuk and a conditional 2025 fourth-round pick to the Florida Panthers in exchange for Jonathan Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar, Cole Schwindt, and a conditional 2025 first-round pick. You know, this was crazy, and then we were just talking about how, like, they got absolutely fleeced in this deal. Like, it's crazy. Lastly,
no, you got it backwards.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They fleeced the Panthers.
They fleeced the Panthers.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, sorry. Did I say it wrong?
Yeah, you're saying they got fleeced.
No, sorry.
They did the fleecing.
Yeah, they did the fleecing. Lastly, the Calgary Flames traded Sean Monahan and a conditional 2025 first-round pick to the Montreal Canadiens in exchange for our guy future considerations.
So who did the fleecing? Right there.
The Calgary Flames.
That's right. They got future considerations.
Yep.
That's a big-time fleecing right there, Matt.
That dude's been all around. Talk about veteran presence. There's no veteran presence more than future
Guy's been around for
considerations.
years.
Oh my God, he's touched every.
When's he
team
gonna
in the
retire?
NHL. He doesn't. That's how good he is.
That is the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, he beats Wayne Gretzky, you know. But I mean, look at the like. Well, I'll kind of just want to go down a list here of what the team looks like. Jonathan Huberdeau, Elias Lindholm, Tyler Toffoli, Blake Coleman, Kadri, huge pickup, Mangiapane, Pelletier, Backlund, Dubé, Milan Lucic, Kevin Rooney, Trevor Lewis. And then for defense, you have Hannafin, Anderson, Weegar, Tanev, Zadorov, Shillington, and then for goalies, Jake Markstrom and Dan Vladar. They definitely seem like a different team somewhat, but still one of the best teams in the Pacific in my eyes.
Yes, they are definitely still ultra competitive. They kept the same people in the pipes. They brought in all-stars to replace all-stars. The only problem is they're not the same team. Right. You know, it's not necessarily better or worse yet. We'll find out at the end of the season.
Yep.
But since they're different, there's another factor to everything. You need to learn where this guy's going to be on the ice, what his tendencies are, what he brings to the table. So with that added to the mix, that's really the only reason that I bumped them down. Because on paper, this team's fucking sick.
Yeah.
This is like when you play the NHL GM mode and you're trading away fucking like fourth-round guys and getting your second-line center. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are set up for success, but I just think Edmonton is going to roll a little bit here. I think this season is the season for Edmonton.
For Edmonton, yeah. I mean, the Flames, again, have those guys. The first name I said is Jonathan Huberdeau here. 30 goals, career high and leading 85 assists last season, which equals out to 115 points, which is second most in the entire league. Now let's look at Elias Lindholm. Career high 52 goals, tied for 8th best in the league, and 40 assists. Those top two guys are just, they'll help you out. And that Nazem Kadri pickup is going to be massive. 28 goals and career high 59 assists. 3 big playmakers / goal scorers that you have on your top two lines there. Again, Calgary Flames still looking really, really, really good, but I think they lost a little too many players for them to kind of compete with this Oilers team, or at least stay with them, you know?
I think they honestly will still stay with them, especially where they have the Jennings Trophy winners here with Markstrom and Vladar. I just think, you know, like, I think Kadri's a great two-way guy. Like, that's another player on the roster that I don't think they had a guy that was as good of a two-way player as Kadri can be and still be that much of a factor in the playoffs. Like, that's what I think the big money sign was for Calgary here, was the fact that Kadri is a playoff producer. Like, that's big. Tyler Toffoli, Huberdeau, like, I'm just going to repeat everything you said, basically. Yeah. But they even have the young guys producing, like Andrew Mangiapane. Like, granted, he's on some sick line, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they have the fear factor of Milan Lucic. These two teams are set up to play each other in the playoffs, which is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these guys are made for the postseason too.
Yeah. Again, when I say they're not going to be neck and neck, they're still going to be right there, just exactly what Chris said. And I want to go back to the Jacob Marshall and Dan Vladar tandem for a long time running in the beginning of last season. They were the best tandem statistically in the league. And that's Dan Vladar coming from the Bruins like that past season and really showing what he's got. Dan Vladar last season, most games played in NHL, 25 last season to help out with Jacob Markstrom. Had 2.75 GA, .906 save percentage. And then Jacob Markstrom here, career best season with a 2.22 GAA, which is third best in the league, and a .922 save percentage, which is tied for third best in the league. As well as league leading 9 shutouts last season. Dude is just Markstrom's gonna stay the Markstrom, gonna still be there, and I think it helps out when you have a goalie like Jacob Markstrom, who you can be confident in your backup to give him the break he deserves, so he can go in like fresh legs, possibly give him like a night off, so he could come in like fresh legs.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think I talked about Tuukka Rask back in the day, where the Bruins just couldn't do I don't know what the hell their plan was, but they're just like, nah, Tuukka could play 82 games a season. They were just refusing to give him a good backup, and I don't know. I don't know where I was going through with that, but I'm talking about.
No, definitely. You need a good backup to rest up your starter, and if you don't have that, that's a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big thing with this team is from last season, point production is coming from everywhere on the fucking ice. We have. And this includes their new players that have been added to the roster, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 career highs on this team. If you count the goaltender too, let's call it 11.
Yep.
There are 11 players that hit career highs with their stats last year. A lot of assist makers in this team. 85 assists from Jonathan Huberdeau. Wasn't with this team last year, but he was the league leader for assists. That's going to be huge, a huge addition. Elias Lindholm with a career-high 42 goals. Granted, different line mates, but I think he can still make it happen. Even on defense, career-high for Rasmus Andersson, 46 assists. That's fucking big.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of impressed to see this.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, no, we're still looking at a really good Flames team.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.